Speaking of must-watch characters, in the NFC West world, if you will, who is the must-watch guy in 2020?
Yeah, it's funny, Kay, that you asked Kyle about them being robots because Jimmy Garoppolo was seen as that for a long time. He was the backup to Tom Brady, and then all of a sudden he lands in San Francisco, and everybody assumed that he's going to be perfect within the system. He gets injured, he kind of bounces back, he goes on that win streak, but last year was fantastic, and he took some criticism during the year. And I got to raise my hand. I criticized him as well. There was games where he wasn't the superstar that held down the team. It was the defense. There were games when it was the running backs, but then there were games where he went blow for blow with some of our superstars. We remember that Saints game, and then it landed these guys in the Super Bowl, and I afterwards said he closed his eyes on that interception. I felt like he could have played better in the second half. So for me, I'm looking at Jimmy Garoppolo because regardless of what happens to this team, it's always going to come down to the quarterback. I don't care if he throws 8 passes or if he throws 58 passes. We're going to be talking about Jimmy G and the success, or shall I say, the completion of winning the Super Bowl. It's on his shoulders.
You know, I look at that situation, and it's kind of the same deal with who I'm going with. I'm going with the mad genius, Sean McVay. He's the coach of the LA Rams, but same type of deal, Nate. Everyone praising him, everyone praising him, everyone praising him. And last year, it was like a piñata. Everyone wanted to take Sean McVay down. You go back to the Coach of the Year award and him giving his speech. It was the longest Coach of the Year speech that we've seen. Every coach at home watching and licking their chops and saying, I want to get a chance to knock this guy off. Here's this 30-year-old Coach of the Year enjoying being at the top right from the go. And then the following year goes to a Super Bowl. So it's like, all right, the only thing that McVay can do is go and win the Super Bowl. And instead, we know what happened last year. The Rams fell back down to earth. They missed the playoffs. I'll tell you now, I talked to McVay. He's sitting at home. He's watching film. He is a mad genius in a lab right now. And I've said this on the show several times already in the last few weeks. He doesn't have the obligation of being a homeschool teacher and 4 kids on his lap and also cooking peanut butter and jelly for lunch. He's got no kids. He's got football. He's got his fiance, and he has a focus on whenever this season comes back to get some revenge. So I am so fascinated to see. We saw the up. We saw the down. Now I want to see the backstory of him coming all the way up again. Sean McVay, fascinating character in the NFC West this year.
He always is, and I think it's appropriate we're talking NFC West with Westworld because an NFC West legend, Marshawn, is the guy who's been showing up in the show. But I'll go back to the Niners, guys. Give me Bosa. Give me Nick Bosa. Give me all the Bosa I can handle. I think we saw beginner Nick Bosa last year. Rookie, just finding my way Nick Bosa. And yet we also saw him do the Baker Mayfield flag plant. We saw him slip and sliding like a 5-year-old on the field. We saw him be an absolute terror in that division. And I think we're going to see a lot more of it. Look at that. The Crocodile Mile, whee! I think I look at him and Kittle on this team like the perfect early 90s tag team. Bosa is Bret Hart, Kittle is Jim the Anvil Neidhart. They're nuts. And I think, guys, in this time more than any other, we don't have movies right now. We're not going to movie theaters. Who knows if we ever will again. You know, Nick Bosa has got takes on movies. He still says Pulp Fiction is not a top 5 Tarantino movie. He still says Black Panther is the worst Marvel movie of all time, which is a very loaded take. And yet, at this point, we will take it. I'll take anything. Football, movies, we need it badly, but Bosa provides both. That's my guy in the NFC West. Nick, Smaller Bear, as his Twitter handle says, Bosa.